Hello friends and welcome back to Swiftlessons. Today I'm finally getting back to teaching the ukulele. I'm going to be showing you how to play a classic love song entitled Vie En Rose by Edith Piaf. Now I'm going to be showing you my personal approach to playing this song in the key of C major. We're going to be combining elements of the main melody and some basic strumming as we explore the fretboard with some very useful chord shapes. I got a full PDF study guide for you, as always, at patreon.com/swiftlessons. You can download that there. It's going to contain tablature and also chord diagrams to help facilitate greater progress. Now, let's get started with a full demonstration of the song, then you can use that to jam along with later. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and
Hold me close and hold me fast. This magic spell you cast. This is Vie En Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see Vie En Rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be Vie En Rose. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be Vie En Rose.
Okay, close look at the fretboard, getting started with the intro section. Here I'm going to be pulling from the main melody to come up with a nice kind of instrumental introduction to get us started. It's going to sound like this. Okay, let's break that down. First, let's start off learning the chord shapes. We're going to have C major. Alright, just that third fret of the A string. I like to use my ring finger for that. Next we'll have E minor. In that staircase configuration, I've got 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th frets. Okay, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. Next I'm going to have F major, another basic chord that everybody needs to learn. Okay, I've got the 1st fret of the E string, and then I've got the 2nd fret of the G string, F major. So far you have C, E minor, and F major. Okay, and then we're going to go to G7, the 5 chord in the key of C major. Okay, that's going to be 2nd fret of the C string, 1st fret of the E string, and the 2nd fret of the A string, G dominant 7. So, C major, E minor, F major, G7 for my personal way of kicking off this tune. Okay, so we'll be using those chords throughout the entire song. Now we're going to add in a little bit of melody. Over the C chord we're going to play. Okay, so very, very simple. Sounds tough, but it's actually very easy. Just strum the C major chord once or twice. Okay, that second strum was just optional. Then I'm going to play. that famous melody line. A string 2 0, E string 3 0, and then back to 3 on the A string. One more time. Then that's going to get us to E minor. Alright, this part's really fun. We're going to strum the E minor chord once. Open A. 3rd fret of the E string, which was already there. 4th fret of the C, which is already there. Then the open C. And then back to the 2nd fret of the A string. Put that together, we have. Combined with the C chord. Okay, then we're going to go to the F major chord. This is just kind of my turnaround that I'm applying to the main melody line. One more time. Okay, so I strum the F chord twice. Then I play the open G string. I'm going to take a G7 chord and strum it. Grab the 3rd fret of the A string. Then I'm going to reach my pinky out and grab the 5th fret. And if I can hold that chord shape still as I reach for that, I got this really nice climb going on. Now I could just play and hold out that 5th fret of the A string for a more simple beginner-friendly version of this, okay? But as you play, the more your dexterity is going to improve. Put all that together, we have the intro. E minor. Okay, and there's lots of little embellishments that you can throw in there. Be creative with it, try to make it your own. But you can keep it also very, very basic and sparse. That's gonna have a very pretty kind of simple sound to it as well. Okay, great work everybody. You have the intro section down. Now we're jumping into verse 1A. Okay, so the first half of the verse. We're gonna have the same exact chords, plus a few extra. And anytime that you see a C or an E minor, you can throw in those melody lines that you learned in the intro. Okay, it's gonna go along with the vocal very nicely, though I will be throwing in some variations throughout the song, which I'll show you later. Okay, so getting started, we have the C major chord for 4 slow beats. Hold me close and hold me, the E minor, fast. This magic spell you cast, the F chord. This is La Fian. Now here is a new chord, D minor. Just take that F chord and we're gonna add one more finger to it. The ring finger or 3rd finger is going on the 2nd fret of the C string. That's a D minor chord shape. So 2, 2, 1, 0. Rosa. Then we get to the G7 chord. Put all that together, we have the chord progression for the first half of the verse. Hold me close and hold me fast. This magic spell you cast. This is La Vie En Rose. Okay, now we're jumping into verse 1B. Before we get there though, let me remind you, the C chord could be that melody line. Hold me close and hold me fast. That's magic spell you. Same thing for the E minor chord. Then when you get to the F chord, strum. Cast, this is La Vie En Rose. Okay, excellent work everybody. Now we're on to verse 1B, that second half of the verse. Here we're gonna have the D minor chord. We're gonna have that for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, heaven sighs, G7 for 4 beats. And though I close my D minor back there for 2 beats. 1, 2, G7, La Vie En, C major chord for 4 beats. So one more time, D minor. G7, you can throw some upstrokes in. D minor, 1, 2, G7, C major, 2, 3, 4, and that'll get you to verse 2A. Okay, tremendous work, everybody. You have the intro section down and also the first verse, verse 1A and verse 1B. And you're mixing in some of those melody lines for a nice romantic version. Hold me close and hold me fast, this magic spell you cast, so on and so forth. Now we're jumping into verse number 2A, the first half of the second verse. Okay, so verse 2A, very, very similar to the first verse, but we're throwing in some different chord changes. It's going to sound like this, starting with the C major chord for 4 beats. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world, a C7, a world where roses bloom. 2, 3, 4 on the F major chord. So, C major, E minor, C7, first fret of the A string. Then the F major chord to complete this section of the song. The C major chord again got 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. That could also be the melody. The E minor chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. The C7 chord for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And F, 2, 3, 4 to get you into verse 2B. Okay, now we're getting to my favorite section. Here's where we're going to start climbing up the neck and really building the energy. This part is going to sound like this. This is verse 2B. A 1, 2, and 3 into 4. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Okay, and without the lyrics, that way you can really hear what's going on. The F chord, 1, 2, G sus4, E minor, minor 7, D minor, 2, 3, 4, D minor 7, E minor 7, and G7 way up there on the 7th fret. Okay, so you have a few chords here that we have to learn. We already have the F major chord down for 2 beats. Alright, then when you say speak, we're going to this chord G sus4. You take a regular old G major chord, okay, that's 2, 3, 2. But we're going to take our pinky and put it right here on the 3rd fret of that high string. Alright, the A string 3rd fret. So far you have. And when you speak, I'm not even bothering with that middle finger. Alright, then we go to the E minor chord, which you already know. Angels sing from 2 beats there, but then add your pinky to the 5th fret of the A string above. That's that first line if you're following along using my chord sheet at patreon.com/swiftlessons. Put all that together, we have. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Alright, then we're just going to go back to that garden variety D minor chord. Everyday words seem to. Then find that same chord, but we're going to go up to the 5th fret and bar all the strings. So it's going to have a slightly different voicing. Alright, very exciting. So that's going to be D minor 7 here when you bar all 4 strings on the 5th fret. Turn into, take it up a whole step for E minor 7. Love songs. And then add your middle finger to the 8th fret of the A string to turn this into a G7 chord. Okay, put all that together and we have verse 2B. Really get this down because it's going to repeat later in the tune. So, F major chord, a 1, 2, G sus4, E minor, E minor 7, D minor, D minor 7, E minor 7, and cliffhang on that G7 chord to complete verse 2B. Okay, beautifully done, everybody. Now we're jumping into a section I'm calling the chorus. Here we're going to have the exact same chords that we've been using throughout the song, starting with the C major chord. Give your heart and soul to E minor chord, me, and life will always D minor, G7, and C. Then I'm going to reprise my intro melody. Okay, so very simple. The C chord was 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor was 4, 2, 3, 4. Now we're halftime at everything. D minor chord, 1, 2, G7, 2, and C major to jump into that reprised melody. Okay, now that you've made it this far, you're on the second page of my chord sheet, you're reprising that intro melody. I'm going to let that ring out. Then I'm going to repeat verse 2B.
And when you speak, angels sing from above.
D minor.
Everyday words seem to turn into love songs.
All right, ring out again on the G7. Then we're going to complete the tune by repeating the chorus once more. Throw some of that melody in there.
Your heart and soul.
Here's a variation. You can go to the 5th fret
to me
for a nice 1950s vibe.
All right, and life will always
D minor, G7,
La Vie En Rose.
Then we can throw in a nice little descending line to complete the tune. Okay, finishing up our work with this outro line. Very simple. Sounds very pretty though. We strum the C major chord, then we're gonna play. Going down that C scale. So strum the chord, then 2, 0, 3, 0, 2 on the C string, 0, back to 2, and slide up to 7. Then create a little, if you're a guitar player, a D chord shape. If you're a uke player primarily, a G chord shape. If you're playing it up here on the 7th fret, then you're creating a C chord, which is how we're going to resolve this tune. Alright friends, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on Vie En Rose. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much to my patrons for making all these lessons possible. I hope you're enjoying your extra resources. I've got many more lessons coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.